Hey, what's up everybody? In this video tutorial, we're going to take what we've previously done with the first two-part videos, and what we're going to do is we're going to start doing a little bit of modification. So I'm going to be showing you how you can use Fusion to go back and iterate and redesign and make some changes or revisions to what you've currently sort of already created. All right, so taking a look here in the data panel, you're going to see we're going to have a side, we're going to have our base, and we're going to have our assembly. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to have this assembly open, and we're going to start making some changes to it. So if we take a look at the right side of our beanbag game, our carnival game, we're going to see that we're probably going to have some issues. I mean, this currently, I believe the side was sitting at 30 degrees for this angle. And if you think about it, if you threw a beanbag on here, if that's some sort of a glossy paint, it's just going to slide right off. So it doesn't seem like our angle is probably right. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to open up our data panel. We're going to come here to our Carnival game side. We're just going to double click it to open it, and then we're going to go ahead and hide that data panel. So if we want to make any sort of changes to this, we have to go back and we have to edit the sketch. So down here in the timeline, we can find our sketch. We're going to right click on it. We're going to pick on edit sketch. All right. And we can see we made that for the base, the width of the base, which was 21 3/4. And then we can see now that our angle is sitting at 30. So that seems a little bit aggressive. Let's go ahead, double click on that, and let's actually switch that up to 15 degrees. So we're going to see that our 21.75 is still going to remain. We've just changed the angle. All right, let's go ahead and finish the sketch. We're going to see that that side is now going to update. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and do a save and OK. So once that side has been done, we're going to jump back over to our assembly, and you're going to see something that is going to appear here on top. Okay, and what you're going to see is this exclamation point. Let's go ahead and pick on that. You're going to see how it's going to update, and now that side has been updated. All right, and our entire assembly has been updated. Well, we can clearly see that we do have a problem here with our back. All right, because we actually put in dimensions for it, and with that angle change, now our back is sticking way out. So what we're going to have to do is actually change up the back. Now, if you remember anything from our last two videos, is that we create our side individually, we create our base individually. Okay, those are out here in the data panel. Okay, but if you're taking a look here and you're like, how do I get to my back? Well, remember that the back was created using a top-down approach, which means the back is right here within the actual assembly. We create it right here. All right, so that means we have to edit it right here within the assembly. And the easiest way to do that is just coming up here to back, hitting the little radio button, and now we're going to see that everything is going to go transparent except for the back. All right, and so now this is when we can start making changes to our back. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and we're not going to find this sketch in this case, but if you click right here on top of the first extrusion, we can right click on it, and we can say we want to edit the profile sketch. Okay, and now this is when we can come in here and start making changes. So 8.5 is clearly going to be way over the height of our actual game. So if we came in here and double clicked it and typed in like a 5, you're going to see now it's going to start shrinking that height down. All right, and it looks like 5 inches is going to be giving us enough, okay, where if we did extrude this back, it's not going to be interfering with that top part. I'm going to go ahead and keep it at 5 inches, and I'm going to finish the sketch. Okay, and now taking a look here, it looks like, you know, we do have a gap here where we could put our hand in, okay, to grab that beanbag to pull it out. All right, but let's just go ahead and increase that as well. So let's come back in here to our Carnival game back, hit the radio button. Let's go back into, this time it's going to be our second extrusion, and let's pick on the edit profile sketch. Let's go ahead and get rid of this dimension here of 3 inches. And now let's go ahead and dimension the top of this and say that we want that to for sure be 3 inches down. Okay, to give us enough room, and now we can finish the sketch. Okay, once our sketch has been finished, we can see that everything is transparent, which means that we're still only talking to this back part. So in order to talk to the assembly, we're going to come up here and hit the radio button. Okay, and now the assembly is going and working for us. Okay, so we have just sort of changed up the design on this. Okay, now everything is sort of working. It's a good angle. Okay, and we're ready to go. Okay, so now that we have changed that, okay, orbiting this around, taking a look, right? Well, I can clearly see that, you know, we're not going to have any issue of the back running into the top. But the thing is, I don't feel like this is made that well. I think this should come all the way to the top. So in order for that to be able to come all the way to the top, that means that we're going to have to cut a chunk out of this corner so it's going to meet up with that top board. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go back into our Carnival game back. Let's hit the radio button. It's going to activate it. And now what I want to do is come in here, and create a sketch. And I'm just going to create a sketch, okay, right on top. Okay, I can't get to it. I can come to here, right on top of that face. Okay, so I'm actually sketching on this face right now. Okay, so looking at this in the right side view. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do is come in here and draw a line. If you're going to see, maybe you're not going to have an O snap or something that's available to you. Okay, remember you might have to come down and use project. Okay, my point was showing up. I'm just showing you how you could go out and use project, and you could project that edge forward, okay, to be able to use. Okay, so looking at this in the right side view, coming here to my line command, coming here to this this endpoint on this corner. Okay, and now we could come in here and actually begin drawing our line. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull this out. Okay, and what's going to require me to do is actually put in the same angle. So I'm going to use dimension. I'm going to grab this line. Okay, and let's see if I can't get project to work for us again. Let's go down to project. See if I can project that line forward. There we go. And now let's go ahead and let's dimension that. So from this line to this line, that needs to be a 15-degree angle. Okay, and now what I can do is just go ahead and draw a line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this above this corner. I'm just going to come up here in this sort of arbitrary position here. I'm going to come back into this point. It's a little bit sloppy, bad CAD, but it's going to work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that sketch. I'm going to tilt this over. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use extrude. I'm going to pick all that profile. I'm going to be making sure that my direction is going to be as symmetrical. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send this all the way through to cut out that chunk. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Okay, I'm going to come back in here and go back into my assembly. Okay, and now I can see that that angle has now been cut. All right, and now all I have to do is just bring that all the way to the top. So once again, come back into my Carnival game back. I'm going to hit the radio button. Okay, I'm going to go back into my original sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to edit the profile sketch. And then all I have to do is just get rid of this dimension. Grab this point, and I'm going to physically take it up to that endpoint right there. And now I can go ahead and finish the sketch. Okay, and when I do that, okay, I'm going to see that those two pieces are coming right together with the perfect sort of angled cut. Okay, it's going to give me a lot more structure on the back. It's going to look clean. All right, and let's just, while we're here, let's just go ahead and make sure that back and that top are not interfering. So underneath inspect, let's come down to find interference. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick on the back and then pick on the top, and I'm going to hit the compute button, and we can see that there's no interferences detected, which means they are not clashing into each other. Okay, so we have ourselves a completed assembly. All right, it's all working together, and we are good to go. So there you go. That's part 3 of our video tutorial series for the Carnival game.